There are moments in modern football that feel like tectonic plates shifting, quiet at first, then suddenly reshaping everything around them, and tonight the tremor runs through the very heart of Real Madrid. Vinicius Jr., the electric winger who erupted onto Europe's biggest stages and carried Madrid when it needed him most, is said to have set a private deadline, January. That single month, whispered by a journalist close to his inner circle, is now the fulcrum on which a superstar's future and a club's summer strategy might pivot. The story isn't just about minutes on the clock. It's about recognition, pride, and the fragile loyalty that connects a player to a shirt. Under Xabi Alonso, rotation has become a tactical creed, a way to keep a deep squad fresh across a brutal calendar. But tactics have consequences, and for Vinicius those consequences have turned personal. He has been subbed frequently, sometimes against expectation, and that steady trimming of pitch time has left a player who once felt untouchable asking whether the club still sees him as indispensable. Into that vacuum stepped Kylian Mbappé, a signing that altered the balance of power and spotlight in the attacking line. Mbappé's arrival was a headline-grabbing reinforcement for Madrid and an undeniable elevation of expectations, and for Vinicius it has meant more competition for glory, attention, and, crucially, salary parity. The mix of tactical rotation, a new superstar beside him, and stalled contract talks has produced a pressure cooker moment. A player who wants to be recognised as a leader, not an option, and a club weighing formations, finances, and a future roster. The ultimatum, as reported, is blunt. If he doesn't feel important on the pitch by January, serious decisions will be made. That kind of public ultimatum is rare in elite clubs because it exposes a raw bargaining chip. The human need for respect turned into a calendar threat. But it also forces Madrid into an uncomfortable calculation. Vinicius is under contract until 2027, a timeline that gives both sides leverage but also urgency. For Madrid, keeping a homegrown star whose peak still promises trophies and marketability is a priority. For Vinicius, being paid, played and praised at a level that matches his ambitions is non-negotiable. If the deadline passes without change, the transfer market will watch with rapt attention. January windows produce surprises, and a player of Vinicius' profile would trigger ripple effects. Who replaces him? Which suitor has the finances and sporting project compelling enough to pry him away? PSG, Saudi clubs, or a shock move elsewhere suddenly become plausible stories, and Madrid's recruitment plans would need immediate answers. Beyond money and markets, there is a human story that resonates with fans. Vinicius has worn Madrid's shirt through Champions League nights and raised the club when it needed heart. For supporters, the notion of a player leaving because he doesn't feel valued touches a chord. Loyalty is earned on the pitch, yes, but also in the boardroom and in the manager's selection. The next months will be a sequence of small inflections, minutes played, substitutions, public comments and private meetings, each capable of nudging this drama toward reconciliation or rupture. Watch the minutes. When Vinícius stays on for 90, the narrative calms. When he's benched unexpectedly, the tension spikes. Watch the contract table. New offers or an acceleration of talks could soothe the fire. Silence could feed it. And watch Madrid's public posture. Will the club frame this as a tactical issue, a negotiation, or something deeper about respect and identity? No single headline will settle what already feels like a slow-burning crisis. This is club politics and human pride in a concentrated form. A superstar asking for recognition, a manager asserting a vision, and a club balancing legacy with evolution. If the January date arrives and Vinicius walks away, it will change more than a shirt number. It will force a reappraisal of how modern clubs manage their stars, how arrivals like Mbappé are integrated without creating casualties, and how tactical rotation translates into trust. For now, the Bernabéu waits on the next match day to see whether the man who danced past defenders and silenced critics will be given the platform he demands, or whether a cold, strategic winter will carry him out of Spain and into the transfer headlines that define careers